it's a very complicated problem and a good question because just starting with the first tester being me, that presents a lot of bias into the equation. Let's just use my hand tracking for example. I move my hands a certain way, they're a certain size. I'm gradually training myself to realize what works well and what doesn't work as well with my model. So I start forming a habit of how I'm moving my hands. And as soon as I take the model outside of my own sphere of influence and to my kids or my wife or something, and have them use it, and I realize well, it's not trained for their kind of hand movement, or it's not trained for their hand size, or the lighting in this room is different than my office, so this isn't working. There's so many variables that can mess up how your model performs, and really for me it's mostly just an iteration process. There's no hard measurements taking place. Really the most valuable thing for me is just seeing videos of other people using things I've built and seeing how horribly it works. It's usually the best feedback. And so, things like trying to track the human hand is a very, very complicated problem because your human hands can deform into over a billion positions, and add in all the different lighting possibilities and shadows and occlusion and everything else that goes into tracking with a two-dimensional camera. You've got an infinite set of problems that are working against you. So for me, it's really just number one, I should preface this with saying, I don't build brain surgery tools or anything important. I build toys, which is, people have lower expectations for how well it's going to work. And that's really the only thing that's saved me thus far, is that nobody's relying heavily on these toys that I've built. Really it's better to just start small and work your way up than try and hack this whole process to test your model.